What is going on, guys? My name is Wally, and this is a new series that I'm starting, and it's going to be about Destiny lore. So let's go ahead and start off with some of the enemies that we're going to face in Destiny. And I want to start with the Fallen. They're pretty much the first enemy that we run into, and it's the only real enemy, in my opinion, that kind of resemble a bit of honor and sort of something that we as human individuals in the universe of Destiny can kind of reach out to. So I'm going to go ahead and read you guys a story. This is directly from one of the ghost fragments that you can find. Okay. Tell the story about that one Fallen. Didn't happen like that. We didn't, do anything actively. No handshake, no icy stare of grudging mutual respect. Don't even know which hand you would shake. Do they shake hands? It must be complicated. Anyway, it was like this. I was on the moon. I cracked a hive structure near Mare Imbrium, looking for a shrine, and they just swarmed. Ranks of thrall pouring out between the columns. But the columns were knights, and all the shadows behind them rose up in hissing sorcery. Of course I ran. I had a line of egress, and while it was, yes, a full thrall that I had backup too, I went up slope, took cover in the shadow of a crashed Phaeton, emptied my machine gun, ducked down and reload, and I saw her at the other end of the hole, killing a thrall, a Fallen of exile colors, bannered in the marks of a baron. Though the flags were claw-torn and stained with hive ash, she was alone. I think she must have lost her crew. I didn't really have time to shoot her. She really didn't have time to shoot me, so we went back to just killing hive. Knights pushed me up into the open and back up the range to a high stone saddle in the shadow of an old interferometry array. It was good ground, so she came up here too. For a while, we just killed things, which was hard to make an interesting story, so I'll pass it over. At the end, wizards came, and I climbed the array to get an angle on them, and she fell back to the base of the antenna where her swords broke off in a night. I saw that happen, and I don't know how I could tell you how I felt. She was another living thing with a mind I could understand, and she hadn't howled at me or tried to eat my ghost. I cheered when the night went down. When she came down and when I came down, empty on all guns, she was slumped against the bulkhead staring at me with all her tiny black eyes either leaking out of her like smoke. The night hadn't died easily. Down the slope, the last wizard moved like fire behind another line of thrall. I looked at her and wondered how many innocent human lives she ended on those broken blades. She did the strangest thing then, took the last shock pistol from her bandolier and threw it between us, as if to offer it. When I went to pick it up, she tried to knife me, but she was slow. And when I broke her arms and opened her throat, she didn't seem surprised. To this day, I wonder if she hated me, or wanted to make me kill her, or just felt she should spare me the choice. I did kill a few thrall with that pistol. So the question is who are the Fallen? Well, it's not very difficult to say who they are. It's more or less difficult to explain it. Now, the Bungie information and the Grimoire do a great job of explaining it to us, but I'll go through and give you kind of my own speculation and back it up with some of the facts that I've read. So let's start with the ranking or caste system that they seem to imply in their ranks. Lowest of the ranks is the Dregs. These are individuals that will just run at you, occasionally shooting rifles or maybe running at you with knives. It says, Dregs cling to the lowest rung of fallen society, docked of their lower arms in a ritual of humiliation and obedience. Dregs seek to prove their worth. So these are individuals that have to work their way up. They run in a merit society, which is very interesting. It shows that these individuals have to show that they are worth something to become something in their society. After the Dreg in rank is a Vandal. These Vandals we've seen, they occupy a lot of different tasks, and we'll see them in the game and of course in the universe, occupying roles from being honor guard to being individuals that run stealth or potentially run sniper rifles in the term of the Fallen arsenal. Next is the Captain. Now, the Captain is an individual who has clawed his way to the top, who has fought many of his opponents, many of his rivals to gain this honor. His ration of ether is the largest, his blades the sharpest, his guns the finest. Upon him, his shoulders hangs the flags of his house, if he swears loyalty to any. For his crew, the slightest hesitation to comply earns a slash from his sword. Defiance results in immediate amputation if he is in a good mood, or death if he is not. Of course, after the captains is the servitors, which serve as a direct line of battle intelligence. They seem to be in communication with a prime unit, which is a greater servitor. Now, we don't actually understand the relationship between the two, but we can speculate. So the idea is that perhaps the fallen worship these machine gods considered primes, which happen to be past glory for them of a machine age that the fallen used to cling onto. The question is what kind of relationship is this? How do they get that information, or how can we better understand them? In honesty, it's very difficult for me to explain. I'm still gleaning information from this as much as possible, but the more and more I understand the relationship between the fallen and, of course, read these cards, it seems that there seems to be priests in their caste system called archons, potentially seem to be war masters like the Kel. Now, the idea is that both the archons and the Kels seem to be on the very top rung of the society within the fallen structure, and then on the very top is the prime servitors. Now, there seems to be multitude of these. We don't know how many exactly there are, but there seems to be one for each house, or there has been one for each house. Currently, there are at least 4 houses in the game. There could be more, we may not know, but as we understand it, I'll explain the houses the best I can. So with these different houses, there seems to be a bit of fraction and fighting between the two. Now, another ghost fragment explains a bit of potential squabble between the houses. One disabled fallen skiff scrubbed of house identity and stories. There's another portion in there to discuss that one dreg killed another. Now, the idea is that these houses are obviously fighting each other, and they're fighting amongst each other as well. So they are a warrior society. These individuals continually fight as much as possible to prove their worth. And there seems to be a very huge resemblance, or at least importance, placed on arms. There's a point here that says, in this ghost fragment, that says, "I know what no one else knows, and now I am a marvel with 10,000 arms." So they seem to be a warrior society basing off of tribute, potentially a little bit more. There's an excerpt here on why they potentially serve the darkness, or why they have some sort of loyalty to it. Potentially they're being forced. But the idea, at least from I have deemed from it, is here is what it exactly says. It says, "What others call dark, which is not I know what it is, but no time, room, calm, given for an appropriate telling. So I say only that what it is, not shadow, is an ally, and a wonder, and I respect. What I cannot steal from, and you cannot take from the dark. You can only claim pain from the dark. And that is why the dark is worthy of love beyond all other love. That astonishing ability to evade being robbed." So the idea is that this comes from a dreg, or some sort of lower rung individual within the fallen society. And the implication there is that they respect the darkness, whatever that may be, whatever our true enemy is, because they cannot identify it. They cannot beat it. They cannot best it in battle. They cannot use their own society's information, their warrior society, and apply it there. That's the best information that I have deemed from it. Now, I'm still gaining more and more information, and this is going to be a very long series because I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of information here. So this is a very, very broad overview of an introduction of the Fallen. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please let me know. If you guys have any extra information, please let me know in the comments, because I am learning here and I want to make this series, at least, the best series I can make. I hope you guys enjoyed this. In the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed the footage. I love you all. I'm out. Peace.